Hello, and welcome to episode 522 of Prog Review. And today I'm talking about Vivian Stanshall's Men Opening Umbrellas Ahead. I didn't know whether to put this in Music Go Round or Prog Review, but it's so kind of left field and out there. I thought it's more Prog Review. I know you're going to say it's not prog, but you know. This is why I didn't want to do the two-strand thing, because it just gets confusing. But anyway, for those who don't know, Vivian Stanshall worked predominantly with a band called the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band. You can knock the doodah out if you want. It could be the Bonzo Dog Band. It could be just the Bonzo Dog Band. Bonzo Dog Doodah. You know, there's loads of different variations on a theme there. But this was his first solo album after that all kind of ended, released back in 1974. It was put out originally by Warner Brothers and subsequently deleted. It only sold something like 5,000 copies, and the B-side of the master tapes went missing, and there was all sorts of shenanigans because he delivered an album which I would say is wholly uncommercial. I'm a fan of the Bonzos and I'm a fan of Vivian Stanshall, but even I find it hard to love this record. It's a very strange, odd record. And this is this was released back in 2012, and I finally get round to picking up a copy. And this is like the first authorised copy in it would have been in 35 years, because it was lost and there was bootleg versions doing the rounds and this, that and the other. And I think only 5,000 were originally pressed back in 1974. So so kind of a rarity to get hold of. You'd have to shell out big money to get a copy. I'd heard some of the tracks of this on my rounds, as you do, around on your explorations, but I was never really enamoured by enough to actually shell out my money. So I got this recently. I've been giving it a listen, and it's it's one of those odd cases where it's an artist you love, and I cannot interface with this record. There's not a lot in it for me. And it's a strange record too, because if you look at it, that you've got people on here like, most notably Steve Winwood. Vivian Stanshall worked with Steve Winwood. He worked on his Ark of a Diver album. Wrote some lyrics for him. They were good friends and worked together. So you got Steve Winwood on here, Neil Innes, of course. I think he's on one track. Jim Capaldi, Rick Gretsch, and there's a host of African musicians as well on here as well. So it's a very strange record. It's I would say it's African and kind of blues infused. There's lots of African rhythms going on here, and I almost call it like a jam record. You get the feeling that they tootled up to the studio and just jammed their way through the album. It's supposed to be funny, but I don't find that much of it. I don't find anything to laugh at. I find it quite a dark album. It comes from a place. You get the feeling it comes from a dark, horrible place, and some of the songs are just, filth. And I like filth. I am filth, but even I go, I don't know if I want to listen to this, and that's the problem with this album. Again, it's very odd for you to get a record by somebody that you love and respect, and you just go, maybe it's one of those records that maybe in 20 years' time the penny will drop. But I've listened to it a couple of times. Well, I've listened to it more than that, but I don't get it. I don't get it. And because what I'm doing here, I'm going to do a double header. I'm going to do this, and I'm also going to talk about his other solo albums. His other solo album, not his Sir Rawlinson End stuff. I'm not do them. I'm just doing the two albums. If you get me drift. this and Teddy Boys Don't Knit, which will be coming up next, because I think I need to talk about both of them back to back. Now, again, I often have a little scout around whenever I come to I wouldn't say a negative review, but when an album doesn't work for me and I'm left confused and I'm scratching my head, like this one has done, because it's just lots of songs about his cock, really, which is nice, isn't it, if you like that kind of thing. But yeah. But anyway, I looked around at some of the other reviews, and other people have scored this highly, like in the 4-5 star reviews, and so I wonder if I'm wrong, you know. And I always have a bit of a trouble, and this goes with other albums, when you get a record and everyone's lauding it and you go, oh. So I don't know if any of you out there are familiar with this record. Where am I going wrong? Why don't I like it? Why doesn't it resonate with me? You know, do I need to be in that dark place to appreciate it? Because one, I'm not a big fan of like jam records of, you know, lots of riffing. That doesn't really tend to work for me. So I think, again, from a musical standpoint, I'm kind of outside the circle. And the subject matter, it's not as kind of universal as, you know, some other songs that you hear from Stanshall. And I don't find them particularly amusing. I thought buying the record, again, like I said, I'd heard bits of it over the years. I think I may have even had a dodgy MP3 copy of it, and again, some many 20 odd years ago. Yeah, remember those days? Remember Napster and all that stuff? Yeah. I may have had a dodgy MP3 version of it, and it left me nonplussed then. So I was hoping that the penny would drop this time. Lovely pressing, mind you. I'll talk about the actual record, the pressing. If you haven't got a copy of this and you're a big fan of the album, and you're wondering whether or not the vinyl's any good, I'm doing an unboxing video. There'll be an unboxing video in a weekend. I'm putting them on at weekends, you see. Give you something to watch. But if you find the unboxing to this, you'll see just how good the pressing is, and it sounds nice considering. And it's good to have, like I said, an official version of it. For me, the best thing about it is the artwork, which I just really dig. I really dig that. And of course, you've got a lovely picture of the man on the back. But yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? So yeah, if you like this record, can you please explain to me what makes it work for you? And yeah, all those people saying it's not prog, I know, I understand, I get it. So, in terms of a review, oh God, I hate to say it, I'm going to give this 1 prong out of 5. That's 1 prong out of 5. It's an album which, if it hadn't existed, I wouldn't have, wouldn't have made any difference. I don't think this makes any difference to anything. I don't think there's a lot of value in it, and that pains me to say that. It really does pain me to say that. But if you enjoy it, I want to know what I'm missing. Maybe you can give me a little bit of insight. I feel like it's a bit like Roger Waters' Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. I just don't get the appeal. It feels like that I'm maybe there's a blind spot that I'm not seeing. So if you can explain to me what it is, then yeah, I'd appreciate it. Anyway, I'll do the wind up. My name's Darren. I've been talking about Vivian Stanshall's Men Opening Umbrellas Ahead, his debut album. But do stick around if you like this kind of thing, because I want to talk about his next album right next. Hey! Thank you for watching. There's only one more thing to say, and you know what that is. That is prog on.